Hey everybody, this is Y Chromosomes Music. I'm going to try something a little different this time. Lately in the news, there's been a lot of interest in disclosure. The government released an unclassified version of a disclosure document in reference to these Navy personnel having experiences with what they're calling UAPs, I think, what we used to call UFOs. And in the 1990s and I think into the early 2000s, I was going to a hypnotherapist and getting hypnotherapy regressions for some things. I was referred to this particular hypnotherapist in Franklin, Tennessee, by a friend. And what I'm doing is I'm going to present sketches that I'm going to make basically from memory of these hypnotherapy regressions, and then I'm going to talk about them and tell you what they mean. At any rate, this is the first one I'm going to talk about as a hypnotherapy regression. Like a lot of them, I recall being a small boy, and that would be in the 1960s. And let me get some water here. This is my voice. And so I think at this time, this one here, I probably was about maybe 5, 6, 7 years old at the most. So at any rate, I believe this place was probably, I'm thinking how a strong feeling of it being somewhere on the east coast of the United States, possibly Virginia, and possibly Quantico military base. What this is a perfect circular concave depression in the ground. I would say it's probably maybe 100 feet from side to side, and it the circles that you see, the bigger circles there, are trees that were planted in it, and then the smaller little X's are places where there are plants planted on the ground in between the trees. And the purpose of that, as I say here, trees and plants, to hide it from aerial view. So anybody flying over in a helicopter or looking down from a plane or even from a satellite view would not be able to tell there was a circular concave depression in the ground. And I recalled at this spot right here, there was this structure. This is the closest that I can come to remembering what this structure looked like. So you have to keep in mind that I was a very small boy and didn't know what a radar dish was. And after looking around in more recent pictures of things, I believe what I was looking at was a radar dish. And this is my small boy's rendition of a radar dish. As drawn by the amateur artist. It says my memory of probable radar dish is what I say there. And then directly across from that, directly on the other side of the concave depression in the ground, was a entrance to a cave or a tunnel under the ground, and that's what I've drawn here, is that tunnel. And the shape of the tunnel was triangular, like this. So the roof is up at the top there, and then the side, and it comes down the sides like that. The walls came down like that in a triangular fashion, but it was like curved, you know, at the roof. It wasn't like kind of like an arch, I guess, in a way, but a very narrow kind of arch. and the walls of the tunnel were made of this rock that was either black or very dark gray, and then it had little patches of like rusty colored areas in it. The path it wasn't artificially lighted. I don't think there was light. I mean, I could see, but it was kind of like at dawn or dusk, or like in the shade. It wasn't like bright sunlight, but it was definitely lighted, and I could see where I was going in the tunnel, and I went in the tunnel. The path was of either a white, path of fine white sand, either white or very, very light colored sand. And also the path was hilly. It went up and down. It was basically straight. It was like a straight shot, but it was like up and down these hills inside the cavern. And if anybody's seen or played the video game, the Nintendo 64 Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, there's a scene where when Link is the Deku scrub, when he first comes into Clock Town, and he goes on these platforms, and then he goes over to the other side, and then he goes in this short little cave-like place before he goes right into the clock tower in Clock Town. And if you're familiar with that game, that section where he's in that kind of little cave, it kind of reminded me when I saw that of what this cave looked like. Except in that, I think the dirt is like brown. At any rate, that was that kind of reminded me of that. So the path went about halfway, I would say, to my left. It opened up into this room, and the walls of the room were actually the same rock, cave walls. But in the middle of that, there was this circular structure, and it had like a round metal ramp going all around it, and then there were little ramps that went down onto this flat circular platform in the middle. And on the ramp that went down from the cave to the circular ramp that went all around, and also on the ramps that came down from that circular ramp that went around, and there was metal. The ramps were metal. They had these skid, like rubber skid strips, because it was a really, really steep decline. And if you just tried to walk down that without those skids, you'd slip and fall on the metal. So they had those thin skids going across that horizontally to kind of break your fall, so you didn't fall. In the middle of that platform, in the middle, there was this chair that had a thing on the like an arm behind it, and then that came down into it's kind of like ladies' hair dryers. You see in beauty parlors, those ladies' hair dryers that they put on their heads to dry their hair. That's what that thing kind of looked like, and that goes on your head. They put you in that chair, and then they put that thing down on top of your head. I don't know what purpose that served, but it probably wasn't very nice, I don't imagine. I don't recall being in the chair, but I just know what it was for, just from seeing it. And then I went further on down the path, and then the path ended in this room that had a really, really high roof or ceiling in it. It was all, rock. And towards the back there was like a ledge, and there was this one rock ledge, and there was something on it. I don't know if it was a box or what it was, but there was a guy in a business uniform who was standing there. When I came in the room, he was standing right about there in front of the rock ledge, and he pointed up to that ledge, and I'm not sure what I was supposed to see there. And then over here to the right, there was a little low rock wall, and behind that was a pool of water, and in the bottom of the pool of water was a green light. Kind of reminded me of some kitchen lights, the big round kitchen lights that you see, but it was flat, and it was green, and it was making this whole room, the whole room was glowing in green, basically, and it was from that light. Now, I don't know what the pool of water was for, but you see I say pool of water behind the low rock wall, green light in the bottom. So anyway, that's pretty much what this place was. I don't know why I was there, or why they had me go in the cave, or what I did there. But there are lots of similar regressions that I had. Initially, I had some dreams and other strange things happen to me, and was referred to this hypnotherapist in reference to alien abduction. But a lot of my hypnotherapy regressions, I was a small boy in the company of military personnel or government personnel or things like that. And there are other things that I'm going to draw more sketches in the future, so you can see them, you can comment on them, whatever. One of the things that I had happened to me in 2005, I was at a UFO conference in Arkansas, and I got these marks on my upper left thigh. They were cut into my skin, and I don't know how they got there, who put them there, when they got there. The area was itching there, and then I discovered them later on. I discovered on that spot there were these marks. There was dried blood on the marks, and I have no clue how they got there. So I know that I'm definitely involved in something. I have been involved in something even when I was a small boy, and maybe even to this day. I don't know. But anyway, that's all I have for now. And if you want to comment on it, and you know, that's fine. Go ahead and leave comments. I hope that you don't want to create arguments and things like that. I don't really like to see that. I mean, somebody can, state their opinion. That's fine. But as long as people are civil, I don't have a problem with, not so much in reference to me, but in reference to, people sometimes. This is a very volatile subject, and I know that. So I'm just kind of saying ahead of time, please be nice to each other. But anyway, I'm sure y'all will. That's all I have for now. I will talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.